Welcome back to the belted Galloway Homestead. Just gave the Belties a fresh bale of hay, and looks like they're enjoying that. So that's going to give me some time to work on the skid steer here, my Bobcat skid steer, and put those hooks on there that needed for the backhoe, that 709 that I purchased. I'm going to have to take some plates off here on the inside to try to get access to the lock nuts that will go on the inside for bolting those brackets on. Skid steer is really dirty on the inside. I've got to take those plates off too. I got a throttle back there if I've got to get into that. So I see what, I've never done this before, so it'll be interesting as I dig into this. But first, let's give the Bobcat here a little cleaning. Got a bunch of hay and compost built up on the floor. There's some access holes there below the hoist and boom pedals that you can drag the dirt out. So I'll take and give that a little clean, and then I'll get back with you. Before all that, I thought it'd be best to do something with the rust that's on the mating side of these hook brackets. And I've used these oxide chemicals before that gets rid of rust. And it works pretty good, where you just clean that off, take the loose stuff off, and paint it on. Now, I'm not promoting this, but it works. I've used it on other ideas, and it takes that rust and converts it kind of to a primer surface. Again, it's kind of milky when you paint it on. And it seems to work good, stops the rust. I've done body work in the past and also some, rust work on some heavier metal. And it just doesn't seem that no matter how much you sand, how much you wire brush, how much you grind, maybe you can grind it down to fresh metal, but it just seems that rust just keeps coming back. Especially on body work, you think you got all that stopped, but you do all your work and you paint it, and then in a couple years you see it bubbling out and, coming back. So also the bolts are a little rusty, so we'll put some penetrating oil on that, some blaster or some WD-40. These are some fancy bolts, big bolts that are flange head, flange nut, lock nut bolts. So they will go on hard and not loosen up on you. So, but let me get my DeWalt grinder out here with a flap disc on it. Start cleaning these surfaces up a little bit. Get this coated before we get these bolted on to the Bobcat. Here's what it looks like wet going on. Well, that wasn't too bad. It looks a lot better. And it's going to be less dirt that makes it on the floor of the shop. So, a pile there of hay and compost, a pile there, and a pile out front here. So, like I said, less dirt to make it on the floor. But you can't help but drag it in when you're bringing the skid steer in the shop. Welcome back. I got the skid steer in the shop, And I've been looking this over. I don't think I need to raise the cab up. That's I think I can get access to it. It really wouldn't help me any or not. But looking at this more, I see that these side plates are in pieces here. So there's a couple bolts holding this one in the front, and a couple bolts over here. You can't see the seam too good here. There's a seam there. And that may give me access to the nuts on the backside here to put these hooks on. That would be great. Then I wouldn't have to worry about all this other stuff. So looking at it, I got that. There's a bolt down there. So I'm going to knock these off real quick with my DeWalt impact wrench, which has been a good purchase for me. I've been happy with it. And it has the power to take lug nuts off and put lug nuts on and that. So it should handle this pretty good, and then come in real handy for putting these hooks on with those big 3/8 bolts. So let me get that plate off there, and I'll see if I've got access in there to get to the backside for those nuts. Well, I had to take off a few more pieces. I had to take off the linkage to the pedal, and I had to take off the cover here that goes over the safety bar. That deal there. Pull that out a little, but it's going to give me access in here to those bolt holes there that I need. And then there's some back here too. So far so good. Let me get that hook up here and get some bolts started. The hooks are very heavy, so you're going to have to figure out some ways, whether it's using a 2x6 to lay those in there. But I got this one in place, and the holes aren't lining up the best. So this is the left side hook if you're sitting in the driver's seat. I was able to get the 2 bolts in the back on the side. I wasn't able to get the 2 bolts on the front there. There's not even a hole there. I don't know if I need to drill another one or not. And then you can see the other hole is a little off by half a hole there. And I'd have to take off the tire to be able to drill or ream that out, or I'd have to take this whole hook off again. And then I was able to get the 3 up front, as you can see here. So don't know how normal this is. Hopefully the Bobcat guys out there will let me know if this is normal. I know all the bolts would be preferred, but I'm not doing production work with this. I'm going to be doing things around the homestead. The other thing I noticed too was my lines coming out to the to my hookups for the hydraulics, and right there it's rubbing, and then it also touches here the arm down with the weldment. So I am concerned about this. And if I have to put a stop in to keep them off that line, I will. Otherwise, it'll sit there and vibrate a hole right into that steel pipe. And it is up against the arm. So again, if you've got any knowledge of this, how you deal with this, all these, I don't know if it's just errors in the forming of the parts and that stacking up on me here, or if I'm going at this totally wrong. But someone knows, please let me know. I'll put the other side on and see what it looks like. Well, working on the right hook here, if you're sitting in the driver's seat, I went ahead and ground that little corner out that I was saying it was interfering with on the other side. I also ground a little bit of the face off here. I don't have any white paint, so I bombed it with black Rust-Oleum. I had to get me some white paint to match, but it'll be covered up, so just trying to minimize rust, even though it'll probably go through. But doing a little prep before I throw this one on to see if it'll go on a little easier and allow it to go back a little further. I think the further back, the better it'd be for the lines. And boy, I got some issues here with these lines, so I'm interested to see how they end up doing. Let's see how it fits. Well, on the right-hand side, I was able to get the 3 up front, like I was on the other side, and I was only able to get the 2 in the back, just like the other side. Again, there's no hole in that top one there, and this one is just a partial there, so I had to do a lot of reaming, drilling to get that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the arms down, see where they come in here. Think of some ideas. If I'm afraid it's going to hit my tubes, I may end up welding a block in here, right on that, to give that some place for it to set, and we'll see. But I'll lower these arms and see how it goes. Wow, do I have big problems. I have the wrong hooks. Looks like I have the hooks for a more narrow machine. So the hooks are being way too wide for this unit. Lesson learned here is I could have saved a lot of work, and you can also, by doing a little measuring before you even try to bolt the hooks up. Measure from the side of the Bobcat there out to where the center of the hook would be, and then that would match up with the 709 backhoe. I was pretty sure that I was told that these hooks are off of an 863, but apparently not. So some other units must be more narrow to allow you to put the 709 backhoe on. So if anyone knows what I need, part number, or the word of the hooks, I'd appreciate it. Also, a great subscriber noticed that the teeth of the bucket are on upside down. I looked at that, and they sure are. Again, it doesn't even look like that bucket's been used, but I'll take a look at that to flip them over. But wow, that's a lot of work. And I'm going to have to take all this off now and look and see if I can find another set of hooks. And they could run me some more expense for this. So again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And if you know the kind of hooks I need, please comment below. Hopefully this will save you some trouble, so not repeating the same error.